Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morrow, fine sir.
It was the Met Gala last night.
Oh yeah, I saw that a bunch.
The theme was the Gilded Age.
I don't really know what that is, if I'm being honest with you.
That would be the late 1800s, 1900s, that time. Maybe
No,
1800s,
the Met Gala.
The Met Gala. Well,
Like, I'm aware of its existence. I've seen things about it in the past. I don't know. What is it? Give me the lowdown.
it's a very, very popular party put on in the fashion world.
Okay, so it's fashion centric.
It's fashion centric. That's why there's a theme every year.
Gotcha.
And yeah, Kim Kardashian wore Marilyn Monroe's dress from when she sang "Happy Birthday, Mr. President."
Like the actual one?
I couldn't figure that out.
I mean,
So
she has money to get her hands on something like that.
Because I know that those dresses go up for auction and shit, and it's impossible. But she looked very nice. Pete Davidson was of course on her arm.
Pete.
And Cardi B, what a stunner! Really,
yeah, I saw a lot of posts on Instagram this morning from the celebs that were there. Saw Kim K talking to Elon.
the new owner of Twitter, Elon Musk, was there with his mom.
Oh, that's nice.
Took his mom, yeah. Not gonna take Grime.
No, they're done, eh? It's out. What is their kid's name too? How do you end up pronouncing that?
0x12.
I don't know. Is that what it is?
So the negative power. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I need answers.
Mm-hmm.
The Met Gala, eh? Where is that? In New York?
Yeah. The Metropolitan Museum of Art, sir.
Did you throw on your New Balances and your or your Fuo kicks and stroll down there?
I did. I actually went out to the club with a couple mutant apes to plan some NFT NYC stuff. Shout out to Misha and shout out to Sunny. Big things for NFT NYC.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's coming up quick too, eh? We're like basically a month and a half, 6 weeks away.
Yeah, June 21st through the 23rd, I believe, is the actual conference.
From New York.
Correct.
I just gotta figure out. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to fly or drive there. I feel like the drive's probably doable. Oh, the gas is.
I said very easy. I've driven to Montreal, and you're kind of there.
Oh, that's a bit of a hike. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit of a hike.
Montreal.
GM guys, GM Bomber, Chipper, Cambo. Good to see you. You lovely D-gens. Love you all. What are we going to talk about today, Free Market? We got a big day kind of in the traditional finance world. Is it rate hike day?
No, the meeting is today. The decision would be tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha.
The meeting starts today. We will get minutes from those meetings. So analysts and algorithms across the world will analyze those minutes for any clues as to what the Fed is going to do. That is largely the macro game that is played in the stock market. What is the Fed going to do? Leave rates unchanged, raise rates, or lower rates? We have been in a highly inflationary, high growth environment in which the Fed is being forced to raise interest rates, and they are billed to raise them about 0.5% on this next rise. That would be 50 basis points. Normally, they only do it by 25, but inflation has gotten a little hot here. What we will find out from markets is how much of that is priced in. You can take it to the bank that the rate hike as it is priced in. What you would be looking for now would be any clues as to what they're going to do next. And if you are a bull, ideally dovish and optimistic language about where we are. And given that it's a midterm coming up, I expect them to be putting lipstick on a pig as much as possible and spinning it as rosy as can be. Though the Fed does operate, autonomously,
Independently? Are we air quoting there?
from the government. I would still expect economic spin as far as things are concerned. So we'll see. Big day.
Yeah, you got it. Well,
markets are basically flat now because people are waiting.
I guess we're going to talk about the markets in a second here, so we can touch on that again or a little bit more in depth. But I'm curious to pick your brain as to what those mean. I get the concept of the interest rates and whatnot, but you want to hit me with the drum roll and we'll get it going? GM, DGens, and welcome to the Tuesday, May 3rd edition of the AlphaMint Morning Show. It is episode 119. I am your host, R2DGen, and I'm joined with me, as always, on this lovely Tuesday morning by Mr. Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now.
It's I feel like we're kind of in a holding pattern. You just mentioned we were talking about the Fed, the potential rate hikes. Markets are kind of trading sideways, waiting to see what happens. That's kind of what's going on in crypto right now. Kind of seems to be what's going on with NFTs a little bit. It feels like we kind of got to the peak, the apex of NFTs with the other side drop, love it or hate it. And now we're kind of reorganizing into some other stuff and trying to find our way. So we'll figure that out in a second. But yeah, it's Tuesday morning. Yesterday was obviously Monday. That's what happens. Tuesday comes after Monday. But it was a good day. You and I were on Spaces. Thank you. Yeah, this is the high quality stuff that people come here to learn. If you didn't know that Tuesday comes after Monday, and of course the 3rd comes after the 2nd, and that puts us at Tuesday the 3rd. Yesterday was Moon Mondays for Star Wolves. Of course, we had a Twitter Spaces. We went live with last night, talked about some of the announcements. The dashboard is very, very close. Some of the passive staking stuff is going to be coming up pretty soon. And it was a lot of fun. We gave away a wolf. It was a good time. On that note,
yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry. No, please.
No, I was just saying it was a very good time. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, for sure. On that note, let's just jump right into it. We did mention crypto. Free Market was just talking about the Fed and the potential interest rate hikes going on. Right now, we are sitting at 38,400 for Bitcoin, which was almost exactly what we were at yesterday. Ethereum sitting at 2834. Again, almost exactly what we were at yesterday. Everything seems to just kind of be trading sideways. Obviously, it's not, that uncommon for a 24-hour span, but today is actually a big day for the meeting for the Fed rate hike. And then, as Free Market said, tomorrow will be the day that they announce it. Do you want to kind of break down what that means? If it's 50 basis points, if it's 25 basis points, if for some reason it's even higher, does it ever get any higher than that?
Not usually. It would have to be a pretty dire situation, because when you raise interest rates, you kill economic growth. And sometimes you need to do that, because I know inflation is a different word, but it also means growth. That is what inflation is. When you have growth, you have inflation. So the Fed is in a tough spot, because you want to obviously calm down inflation prices. They've gotten way out of hand this year, but you don't want to kill the underlying economy, because you would also expect inflation to persist a bit until the supply chain also loosens up. So the Fed now is doing their most aggressive rate hike in years. And the good news, if you are a bull, is that it is probably priced in. That is something we've known they were going to do. It is something the market has expected. And because we have fallen so dramatically into this meeting, a relief bounce is due. Whether that relief bounce holds and how far it goes is going to be very dependent on the type of language they use, the minutes that are going to be released today that get into how they're thinking and how they're seeing things. And then we are going to see exactly how much was priced in. And like I said, I think short term, both the chart and the news that is coming is setting us up for a rally. I'm just not sure anybody trusts this rally. and we need to see ETH get above 3,200 to flip the chart bullish, and we need to see the S&P 500 get back above 4,250. It's about at 4,150 right now. So watching those levels that are technical, do not pay too much attention to the intraday action on anything these next 2 days. I would expect wild swings in both directions. I could see a dramatic pop, a dramatic fall, and then we won't know until the third move which one was actually correct. So a lot of volatility today. Don't get shaken out easily. I do think we're leaning very, very short-term bullish when all is said and done. So we'll see.
Yeah, that's great. I guess we'll definitely find out tomorrow what the news is. Do you think that the market is pricing in the 50 basis points that you mentioned, and 25 would be very bullish, or like
there's no way they're going to do 20. There's no way they're going to do 25. They would have signaled at this point something in that effect. They are definitely doing 50. It would be very strange. There's nothing out there that would tell us they should go 25. So nope, I don't expect that sort of bullish surprise being possible. I just think that we have already priced in. Look, the market was at 4,900 earlier in the year. We have priced in some bad stuff happening at this point. As that bad stuff has happened, you now need new bad stuff to look forward to if you're going to continue on this downward trend. So we're going to see how the Fed is viewing the next 6 months, the economy, the next quarter. We're going to find out. And like I said, in an election year, you can expect the party in power to pull out all stops to juice the economy and make it look good. I'm not saying they're going to outright lie, but we know what governments can do to spin things in their favor and manipulate statistics to be the way they want them to be. So that is another thing that could stop the worst from happening. In fact, if I zoomed out and took a larger view of markets, I actually expect us, through a lot of volatility, maybe over the next few weeks or month, to come out of it into a very big rally over the summer. I think everything's going to rally really big, maybe all the way back up to the previous all-time highs, 48, 4,900, somewhere in that area. I then think we could see new lows on the year and actually see in the fall the market move back down under this 4,000 area that it kind of has been testing now and go to 3,800. Now, I think that would be the bear trap of bear traps. And I think once that happened, you mortgage your house and buy leveraged S&P futures and put everything in the world on it. Obviously, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was say the words NFA, say the words NFA. No.
That's how bullish I would be if it played out, though. This is what I think could happen. It's one of the scenarios I think is most likely. If it did, it would set up a very, very bullish scenario into 2023. I could see December and next year seeing new all-time highs across every market, crypto, stocks, everything. So I'm actually hoping we get that violent. So, it will not feel good while it's happening, but it will set up a very good scenario for us going into 2023.
Love hearing that. And that actually is completely in line with your thesis that you said at the beginning of the year. This is going to be a volatile year, but it will be within kind of one confined channel of potentially new highs and new lows, but trading basically sideways when you zoom out there to lead into next year. So always good with that. And so far, that seems to be the case in what we're looking at. Someone that's not having, I guess, a project that's not having a good time right now is actually the Axie one. The Axie Infinity's AXS token down 30% this week as gamers abandon the play to earn title. Axie Infinity gamers have been fleeing the platform en masse for the past month, taking the price of the in-game currency AXS with it. Axie, as we all know, in the earlier this year, or sorry, my apologies, late last year in November, hit upwards of $170 or $160. Went on just an incredible run, one of the biggest gainers of last year. If you had been around in January, you would have been able to pick it up for 50, 60 cents. So, you're looking at a 200-300x throughout the course of the year. Just an incredible run. Not going so well right now. We obviously remember the large Ronin hack that put kind of a black mark on the project, $600 million roughly stolen from that. But the Axie network, or sorry, the Axie kind of ecosystem has been slowly in decline as it got really kind of peakish late last year. And I don't know if this is just in a tailspin that it can recover from, but it's hard, right? We actually talked about this last night. We talked about it a lot last week. The play to earn, or as we're kind of rebranding it, to the play and own meta is definitely depressed right now. There's a lot of FUD around it. There's a lot of people saying it's dead, it doesn't work. Do you think Axie is the recipient of that? Do you think Axie is leading the charge for that feeling dead? Do you think there's any correlation at all between them? What are you feeling when we talk about this in terms of the greater P2E ecosystem?
Axie's problem is how linear the game is. It has turned into straight farming, and there were no new players entering the game. So what Axie did is they created something called scholarships. This is their version of renting. Okay, that is how they rent out these Axies. That caused short-term hype and short-term growth, but when you think about it, you're not actually bringing new players into the game. You're fractionalizing the players that are already there into smaller players. And taking it and basically splitting the money up between them. But because there's no new players, it's still just a straight LP drain. There was nobody else new coming in. It didn't work. It's one reason renting needs to be thought about very carefully. It's not that renting in and of itself is bad. It's that renting as a solution does nothing. It prolongs the inevitable. And Axie's inevitable was due to many reasons. While they are indicative of what's going on in P2E right now, I would separate them. They're not completely on-chain. They're a little different than on-chain gaming. It's more of a Web 2 game with an ERC 720, and you do own the assets, like the Axie asset, which got up to a pretty high mark at one point. I remember.
Yeah, the barrier to entry to that game was incredibly prohibitive too.
Right, and that was another reason that they pushed for the scholarships. But it was the being so linear with no reason to play other than farming. That is what caused Axie's downfall. So that does not mean they cannot adjust or change or do something going forward. But any of these games need to start thinking about, why would people want to play for a reason other than earning an asset? And if you can figure that out, I think you will transcend the space.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of work to do. As that kind of chart that I had pulled up on the side here, I'll blow it up here. The active users has been dropping up to about 60,000 there on a pretty regular basis back in September. Had a good little spike back in November when the token actually reached its high. And since then, well, I guess, yeah, in the earlier months, it was kind of, oh yeah, that's right. It did have that big rebound. We talked about that in the pre-show. People were excited about it very briefly. It looked like they had made some bullish changes. They were creating a DAO and releasing the, giving the players the access to the DAO and some control over the gaming ecosystem. That was very short lived, and now it is dropping rapidly. So I've never actually played Axie myself. I know people that have and they enjoyed it. I know people that have and did not enjoy it. But this is kind of the I don't want to call it a gold standard, but it is definitely the high watermark for P2E games in this ecosystem, and one that initially led the charge. And they have some work to do to kind of rein it back in. And who knows, maybe it's too late for them, maybe it's not, and we'll be watching it closely. But it's hard to really kind of gauge the real sentiment in it with the way that the P2E games have gone, and they might just be kind of following the downtrend as well. On that note, we will talk about NFTs and the volume. A lot of people saying, maybe we're out of this bull or bear market, or slightly depressed volume market that we had. Yesterday, OpenSea set a new daily trading record of almost $500 million in ETH volume. And I can promise you that was almost all from the other side, as that project continues to just absolutely rip. We'll into that a little bit more too, but the other side has now moved into shit. Where did that tab go? My tabs are a mess this morning. There it is. The other side has moved into 6th spot, and likely by the end of the day will flip Azuki as the 5th most traded NFT project of all time. That would put Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, other side, and of course the CryptoPunks, which Yuga just acquired, 4 out of the 5 top volume traded of all time owned by Yuga. Pretty incredible, but absolutely insane that it flipped Moonbirds with ease. It is coming for Azuki, which obviously has a 4-month head start. It's got a little bit to go before it catches art blocks, but it is really, really putting in the work to get there. And it is propelling the NFT volume right now by a long shot, I would say.
People like the land.
People are enjoying the land, but again, there still is a bit of FUD around it.
Yeah.
Cambo saying there's a phone in the background, and one of you guys, it sounds like the beginning of the Mission Impossible theme. I knew that sounded familiar. That was redundant. I hadn't even thought about that. That's one of your alarms, or you're a building for something. You know the sound like when your coffee yeah. Cambo just saying that it sounds like the beginning of the Mission Impossible theme.
Nice. I don't remember the Mission Impossible.
No. All right. Anyways.
Well done.
Did I nail it? Did you get it?
Perfect.
Fuck yeah. Anyways, yes, back on a track here. So the other side leading the charge. Yesterday we talked about it some more in depth about it. $157 million in gas was burned. And the despair of people, not despair, that's a shitty word. People are still pissed off about this. It looks like they have started refunding them, but on that note, the other side has actually dropped, I guess technically below mint price. It was about 2.5 ETH, but with the public sale and the gas that was spent on it, we're having some hard time getting like an actual number on it. But I think that the average seemed to be around 2.5 to 3 ETH for the mint during the public sale, and it has dropped below that now. So I don't know if this is this Yuga's first misstep? Is this going to affect the other projects long term? Like, what are you feeling for it?
I don't see any missteps here at all. I mean, I think that the ape coin is stupid, but I don't think any of these are missteps.
ApeCoin dropping rapidly too. Yeah, it's at just under $15 now as well, which was basically before the other side dropped.
I can't call the land drop anything but wildly successful. I don't even know what people are. I think that Yuga is being like they are lying about not having done it on purpose, that they were using this as a commercial to try to pitch some sort of L1 to their DAO. I don't think the L1's going to happen, and I don't think the launch was unsuccessful. I think idiots that FOMO'd in were unsuccessful, given the floor price right now. But I think it was a very, very successful launch for Yuga. I think that apes and mutants were due for a cool-off. That is what is happening right now. I'm very bullish on Yuga Land, on the apes, on the mutants. And if they fall to 15 or 20, I think that's a really great buy zone again. As people are confused and not understanding the adage we talk about all the time, which is buy the rumor, sell the news. Like, no one thought.
Yeah, it's actually a perfect example of this. Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
No one thought moonbirds were going to do what they did. That is why they do what they did. What they did. Okay. Everybody thought Yuga Land was going to be a 10x. That's why it's sitting below mint. Very easy. The easy game.
Yeah, the price of Bored Apes gone down, has steadily declined to 114. I mean, that's kind of to be expected as people try and pull their gains out of it. And
I have seen some apes go by on the ape bot the last couple days, and when I saw it sell, like, you develop instincts over a while, it felt cheap. When I saw apes going for 112, 115, like especially ones that had kind of rare, it felt cheap to me. That makes me think that these things are going to go much higher in June. We just need the month of May off.
For the other side, the other deeds?
No, apes.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah. Well, you were hanging out with a couple people in that ecosystem. Did you guys talk about the drop at all? Was there any opinions from people that were actually participating in it on, the holder side?
Yeah, I think they're very emotional. I think that a lot of people are not understanding the nuance here and are very short-term thinking. So they were not very happy with the drop.
Yeah, honestly, I think that seems to be the general consensus from both sides of the party. Normally, you get the people that were successful in it love it. The people that missed out want to find any kind of reason to FUD it. We definitely saw a lot of that. The real winners in all of this is obviously the people that ended up getting a coda, as they are making absolute bank right now with some really big sales, upwards of 200 ETH for some of the more rare ones. But yeah, I mean, by and large, I mean, I'm just going to pull up a random one here that just popped up. I don't even know who Skiddly is, but it was retweeted. Just said, it's crazy to think that the majority of people that minted the other side meta are at a loss if they sell right now, unless they pull a coda. Most people bought ape over $20 plus 2 ETH average. And a lot of people like myself bought wallets to mint that spent 0.5 to 1 ETH per wallet. That was another thing that was going on. There was a lot of sales of KYC wallets that people were definitely doing pretty well for themselves on in that regard. The amount of money that the NFT ecosystem seems to be out on this has just left a lot of people with a sour taste. And I think that they kind of added that extra layer of needing to buy an ape, which I actually support. I do think that they need to use this coin that they now have to power their ecosystem. But because you're kind of putting that speculative asset on top of a speculative asset, and you're now have to, buy it to use it, and if you don't get to, then you have to try and sell it, but everybody else is trying to sell it. The potential for loss is kind of magnified all the way down the road. So it's, other than that, like, I didn't get personally burned on it. I've had a great time even just watching it all go down and kind of dissecting it and whatnot. So I think it'll be a case study. I think it will be a learning experience, if nothing else. And I hope to God that they don't actually go through with this L1 chain of their own, because I just don't think that that's necessary. And I think that is maybe Yuga exceeding their reach a little bit. Yazid saying, yes, the only winners are the ones that hit codas, rare lands, sold pre-reveal, but pretty much 90% of holders are at a loss right now. For sure. Hope floor will bounce, but not sure. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. I do think that this is in the long-term sense going to be a success, just like everything else that Yuga has touched. And I don't think that, honestly, if you were sitting on secondary waiting for an entrance point, we're probably, I would think, getting to a pretty good spot. Do you think that this can go much lower, or is that just no idea?
I'd pay 2.5. I think
2.5. Yeah,
for floor
price. Yeah,
I mean, now that it's revealed, like, there's, of course, I think the floor is gonna fall close to mint, and the rare ones are gonna get what rares get. And I again, this is just not the month to own PFPs, even the king of PFPs. So
That's totally fair. The other thing that I think that, we really haven't experienced as well is, the fact that this is 100,000 drop and what kind of sell pressure has to be met with buy pressure there. There's a lot of people that are holding these, and you can put a lot of pressure on the floor.
And that's only half the fully diluted value. There's
That's
200,000 total.
That's a good point too, because we don't really know when this next wave of land is going to be coming
Nor
out,
how they're going to distribute it. We don't know
nor how they're going to distribute it exactly.
An airdrop. We don't know.
I don't know. I think that there's a world where maybe, somewhere down the line they just airdrop it 1-to-1 with the current holders. But I don't know if that's actually a thing or not. So
I don't know.
Lots more supply to come on the market there, and yeah, you know what? Though I think that we're going to look back in a couple months or a year, NFTs going strong. This is going to seem like a very short term blip. I mean, at the end of the day, you're right. Call it a success. It's almost 200,000 ETH in volume traded. And some people made out really well on this. So of course we're going to keep watching it, and as news kind of pops up, we'll talk about it. But right now it seems to be, for the most part, pretty well wrapped up. About 3,400 left to hit the market. Of course, the Bored Apes and the Mutant Apes that haven't minted yet do have the better part of 3 weeks left to do so. So there will be more to come, no doubt. And then Yuga will obviously, keep their name in the spotlight one way or another. If nothing else, attention is back on Yuga after kind of 2 weeks of Moonbirds. Speaking of kind of in the realm of Yuga, Larva Labs this morning, as it turns out, has deleted every single tweet they've ever had. There's no tweets, there's no replies, there's no media, no likes. And Larva Labs has kind of shut it down. They don't have a big following anyways. I don't think they were super active on Twitter, but I think a lot of people were left wondering what's next for Larva Labs. I think we all kind of assumed that they would be working on a new project, but they're obviously going pretty quiet. Do you think Larva Labs is right for this world anymore, or are they just kind of going to take their bag and vamonos?
No clue. I've heard people say both. I don't know. No idea. I don't even know if deleting their tweets has anything to do with it. Could have just been something they did. No clue.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while, someone wants to do some house cleaning and clean up the the tweeter there, as I almost said. But Punk's holding their, not that they're Larva Labs anymore, but 61 ETH floor, just as I'm looking for it. So something to watch out for. No idea what they've got going on there. You want to talk about 1-1s? You minted 1-1s yesterday, and I think that you're pretty bullish on this. The art style, actually quite a nice little cook yesterday, as they peaked out around 0.25, 0.26 last time I saw. They're sitting at 0.1.
Get that refresh.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
It might be good. A little bit down. 0.005 down. You'll be all right.
I minted these yesterday. So I had known about these for a few weeks now, and I didn't do my research. I didn't know too much about them. And yesterday, they tweeted out something about their mint. I saw the art, and I hadn't even remembered that the mint was yesterday. But when I saw the art, I was just like, you know what? I don't even know what those do or are, but I'm minting those. Like, you just look at that,
Sure, yeah.
And I went to try to do research. They're literally like, we're weird. We are weird art. Thank you for buying. And like, I appreciate it. Like, I don't know. These feel like the thing that could be one of those like weird community, like goops, these like, maybe it's a slow start. Maybe, I don't know. I thought the art was fabulous. The colorways were right up my alley. Without trying to think too hard about it, I minted. These look like they could be 1 ETH to me, but I don't have, much of a reason for it. But very low supply, 65 for a PFP project, pretty low. Fabulous art. And they seem to be kind of humble. Like, we didn't expect our allow list to mint 2, nor did we expect everyone on the allow list to mint. In fact, I am lucky. I remembered I was on the allow list. When I got there were 6,300 out of 6,500 minted. And
Oh, wow.
I'm guessing they oversubscribed because they did not expect to mint out during the allow list. They were going to kick any overage to a public, and they sold out. And their unique owners, everybody minted there too. There were no like double wall. It's like 3,500 exact. You're like, wow. Really, really great distribution, great art. Don't know why. I think they're going to go up for no other reason than they look cool. Beyond that, I think
Hey, sometimes that's actually enough. There is a thing called art's sake. It is cool to have some
better roadmaps. They weigh you down because now you have to deliver. Like, no roadmap is almost good if you have this quality of art. If you have this level of art you're putting out, no pressure on it. They look great, so we'll see what it does.
Yeah, they do have an interesting. The colorway is pretty familiar. Getting like, and I'm not comparing it to, but like a Tasty Bones kind of vibe in that color palette. I think Super Ordinary Villains. What's that?
I said definitely, yes.
Yeah.
OV. Yep.
But yeah, it's got that kind of trippy psychedelic vibe to it, and I think that they look pretty good. Everything that they put out seems to be pretty clean, good looking.
And you're not getting rugged. That art you see there on the site is the art you're minting. It's not different art on the website as we often see with these fucking projects.
Well, you're gonna find out at 11. So that is the reveal is going down.
You weren't willing to back that up. You're like, I'm not gonna back that up. He doesn't know what's being revealed. We'll see what he has to say tomorrow.
Well, no, you know what though? It's funny that you say that because this is the kind of again we always go back to that the Cheech and Chong project. I can't even what was that called?
Homies, like friendly.
Yeah. The homies, not Hydra homies, the something homies, and how different the art style looked from everything that they were putting out. But you say that, and then that's exactly where my mind goes. But this again, like this would be a great like Cheech and Chong style art. Too, like that's something that I could have seen popping out of it. But
well, I just meant we've seen the previews and it looks like what's there on the site. It's not like it's exactly what you said. I still want to mint the Cheech and Chong art that I saw. Can you give me that, Cheech Chong? Somebody?
Yeah. I just remember the video of them like being interviewed with the camera, and they're just like staring at the camera being like, I have no idea what the fuck we just got into. Like, what are you guys pointing at this? Like, what do you want me to say?
Often people will ask me, FMC, how do you smoke so much cannabis yet still seem so smart and on the ball every day? And then there's interviews like that with Cheech and Chong that really give stoners the opposite impression. So. Yeah.
Well, that was clearly a project that they just got asked to slap their name on, probably wrote them a check, and off you go. But yeah, this is looking good. As I showed on the graphic there, the public sale mint was 0.09, which it didn't get to, and the allow list was 0.08. Obviously sold out during that. It is sitting over 2x the mint price right now. It did get to about 3.5x the mint price too, so it's doing really well. And the supply is nice, as you mentioned. The ownership distribution is nice, and this could be one to kind of watch out for. We'll keep an eye on it. I also saw a bunch of people minting and grabbing the something token, which is from the probably nothing holders. So that went down yesterday, 0.07 ETH mint price, 9,500 total supply. And this is saying, I'm trying to do some research on it, look it up. Early access in discounts to Americana. That is a word that we've talked about and used a lot on this show. We talk about, the Pepsi drop, the Budweiser drop, something like NASCAR. Like that's all pure Americana. And that seems to be centered around this. It's the first Web3 marketplace for real objects. Investor and partnership announcements this May, marketplace launch this summer. They have been moving about 2,000 ETH in volume and sitting at about 0.5 ETH floor, and doing pretty well. Again, these marketplaces, these utilities, tools, they all seem to be performing very strong. The pre-mint token, or sorry, the pre-mint pass is still sitting around 2 ETH. They got up to 3.5 there for a little bit. And I guess people are putting their bets on something token being the next one. The Twitter has a little bit more information. They've been doing some raises, and yeah, they're looking to enter the NFT / IRL realm, and we'll kind of figure out how that's going to go for them. IRL NFTs IRL, buy, sell, and trade things completely on chain. Sotheby's,
Web 4.
Web 4? Are we into Web 4 now?
That's what we were discussing yesterday. As I don't know if you guys out there have done it, but it is great meeting people from Web 3, people you've spoken to for months, and they're people that you tend to bond with on a mental level, right? So you know that the conversation is going to be good. You have certain, you have similar interests and all that type of stuff. And this is where the cannabis kicks in, and I forgot what I was talking about.
You were just saying, you were like,
all right.
What's that?
So on the ball and smart, as I said.
I think we should just call it Web 5, because then you get the 2 + 3 = 5. Maybe that's my branding for it. But yeah, I mean, something to watch for here.
I saw probably nothing token rallying. Why is PN rallying? And then
actually, is that one of those shit tokens that I bought a while ago? I can't remember.
I don't know whether I had GM, PN.
Right, yeah. There was a couple of GM tokens. There's GN tokens. There was PN. There was SOS. There was gas token. Lux was in that kind of conglomerate, I think, in there. And yeah,
token was the only token airdrop I ever sold immediately upon receiving it.
Which one?
Gas.
Yeah, I wish I had done that. I paid a lot of gas just to grab that, and that was a lot of cope involved in that one.
I made $400.
What's that?
I think I made $400 on them.
Yeah, I think I lost at least that. Stupid me. Stupid me. Got caught up in the shitcoin FOMO. It happens. We live to fight another day.
So stupid. Can I just say that? It's very expensive right now, which is fine when you're buying NFTs, but when you're trying to play a game, it's cumbersome and annoying.
It is. Especially when you upgrade your raid party fighters like I did yesterday, and I got a big swing and a miss. It was only the second time I tried to enhance, and I failed.
Yeah.
Ooh. Suck. I'm actually just glad I didn't fail when fighters were at like 1.4 ETH.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing, but
Well, I'm trying to leap ahead of Celesco, my arch nemesis, who I will swiftly put in his place after I reveal my fighter, who I am enhancing right now. But every time I go to do it, Gwei is just completely planked. I hesitate. Suppose
this
if I was
kind of cool. I want to buy a Pablo Picasso. It's 49,000 ETH. There you go.
I wonder how many of these things they actually own.
I think it's a good question.
They must. I'd wear that jacket and those shoes. I'd be very.
That's the Gap and Kanye. Yeah, you're a big fan of the Gap.
Right? Kanye?
Yeah.
You see?
$250. There you go. Ship it. Nice Tesla there.
Why do people I want my Tesla truck. Where's my fucking truck?
I would drive the Cybertruck. Hell yeah.
He could have been at work making my truck. He's out at a party.
Yeah, seriously, can the dev do something?
For real.
Wait, you didn't put an order on the truck?
Yeah.
Did you actually?
Yes. It was nothing. You put out $100. It was back when they announced it. All you had to do was reserve. You got to reserve a truck for $100. I didn't have to put down some big down payment.
Oh, okay. And are you intending on getting it?
I literally, it's the only thing I keep on my desktop. I took a screenshot of the fucking receipt, email it to Elon Musk's address every day.
Do you know where you are in the queue?
Let me see. I'll read it right now.
That's pretty cool. I actually
have my order number.
Yeah.
I could read it out on the air right now if Elon is listening.
Your
And if you
social
are
security
listening,
number,
for fuck's
address.
sake, Elon,
Elon's here, yeah,
will
for
you
sure.
stop lurking and actually retweet the show?
Yeah. Jump on with us. Why not?
Anyway, I've never liked Teslas because I felt for such an innovative inside, it was a very like they didn't rethink the car. It's still 4 seats facing forward with a steering. I think that the company that's going to rethink the car is Apple Computers. And when they do release their car, it's not going to be 4 seats facing forward. This is going to be something completely different we haven't thought of. I thought he had the potential to do that. When the Cybertruck was announced and everybody hated it, it was the first time I said, look, this guy's taking a risk. Like this looks like a car from the future. All these other things just look like normal cars. It doesn't look that different. I hate normal Teslas.
I don't mind some of them.
Cybertruck, I'm bullish. I'll buy that.
Yeah, I actually like that. And you know what? It was funny because he did one of those. Is it Jay Leno that drives around with some people sometimes? I think it was Jay Leno.
Jay Leno driving cars.
Is that what it is? Yeah, yeah. So he was driving the Cybertruck with Elon, and going through, and he's like, is it true that this has bulletproof glass on it? And he's like, yeah, for sure. And he's like, why does it need bulletproof glass? He's like, because it's fucking awesome.
Exactly.
That's all you need. It's just fucking awesome. You pull up a bulletproof glass. What do you need that for? I don't know. What do we need to have
one for? And I bought 2 more off the secondary. You know why? Because it's fucking awesome. I don't know. That's my thesis. Because they're awesome.
Oh, one. Sorry, I thought you meant Tesla trucks. I'm like, wait, you're in line for 3 of these now?
Yes. You mean you don't have 3 trucks? How do you even get about life?
I don't know. Yeah, just in case one's battery is dead, you jump in the other one. Yeah, I don't know. They're cool looking though.
I just want looking for my shit coins to 100x while I sleep, and for me to wake up exactly when they're at their peak, and me be the first order that's pushed through on Uniswap. Is that really too much to ask?
Could be. I think you're being a little greedy right now, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't even. Oh yes, I will. I will scalp polyagonal.
All right, man. What do you got going on today? What's the plan? You got a squeeze going on at noon?
Yes, I am also going to make Celesco cry and call his mother as I leap ahead of him on the leaderboard. So, if you're listening,
he's coming for you.
Coming for you.
I'm just checking my my wallet now. I do not have any PN token, unfortunately.
No. The number one variable in whether a coin is going to 100x or not would be if we are not on its book.
Fair.
That is if you're really like, which coin's going to 100x, just go check our wallets. If it's not in there, you got a good shot.
Vibe token. That one.
Not really a vibe, is it?
Not a vibe, no. I have 197 million of them, and it's coming in at a cool $58.
I'll tell you what Uncle FMC is heavy, and that would be the MEV repellent.
The MEV repellent?
So you know what a MEV is, MEV.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the repellent.
How does that work?
It means it prevents them from taking advantage of you. And there is a shitcoin attached to this service, and I have aped said shitcoin.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because that's all like the sandwich attacks and everything, right?
Right.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what? I'm for the most part like fair game. Web3 is sort of the Wild West. You know, you got to be careful about what you do. I fucking hate sandwich attacks. I think it's the fucking shittiest thing.
I mean, yes, but you know, anybody out there, none of you should be a victim to this. Get an RPC. There's a million of them out there. If you're gonna trade any type of shitcoin, please use an RPC. Eden is one of the popular ones. I don't think you have to pay anymore. I'm not 100% sure. Alchemy. What's the really popular RPC everybody uses? I can't even remember. You guys must know what I'm talking about in the audience. Tell R2. Just never buy shit coins without using an RPC, because you're going to be a victim to sandwich tax. And they're only stealing 10% from you, but that's still a fucking big ding when you think about it.
Yeah, you're 10% underwater,
Yeah.
and the gas that you've paid and all of
Right,
this.
right.
It's hard enough to make money in this this world.
Yeah.
All right, man. All right. Well, I'm feeling good. We got a day ahead of us. You've got the squeeze coming up. I'm gonna be getting some stuff out there for Star Wolves and working on some other things. And yeah, sorry, I just got a message. So always a pleasure being up here. Flashbot.
I like to text you dirty things during the show and see if it throws you off.
It does. It does. That wasn't you this time, and it also wasn't dirty. But
oh, wow.
All right, my friend. We can wrap this up, guys. Of course, this is all recorded. If you showed up late, we talked about the macro market. We are talking about the rate increase that is probably going to be hitting tomorrow. Axie Infinity is struggling. We'll talk. We discussed if it's based on the P2E market in general, or if they overextended themselves, if they can get off the mat. Talked again about some ape stuff, the other side, the success or the demise of that launch. My words are very weird today. I apologize. I don't know what's going on. Talked about the ones you got in on that, very bullish on that. We talked about something token, looks pretty cool, and then just riffed on some other stuff. Pretty low key day. But always good to hang out and spend the morning with you, and of course all of the lovely degens in the audience. Nice whiskey, man. What kind is it? Well, Scott a boner is saying, I think I somehow became stupider listening to you. You're welcome. I appreciate that. I don't know. I've got Dylan's and Basil Hayden sticking up there, so yeah, nice whiskey.
The Basil Hayden's.
Welcome to the stream, Scott. Appreciate you. All right, let's wrap this up. Free market. We'll do it again tomorrow and get us out of here.
Good luck at the tables, D-Gens.